Hello, and welcome back to the 8th episode of the Triboro Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Alonso, joined by my co-host, Nicholas O'Brien. How are you doing, Nicholas?
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good?
The Mets are handling business as they should. Not much to complain about.
Yeah. I almost had a lot to complain about.
Yeah.
But,
Garrett Cole saved.
Not even Garrett Cole. I would have been there would have been, if you thought the Brewer series was bad for your reactions, if they lost this series at home to their sons,
that would have been
there
something.
would have been.
How'd that sweep go, by the way?
Sorry.
Sorry.
There's positives to take.
Yes.
We'll get into that.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we're also in Manhattan. We're going to be doing our first in-season one, right?
I believe it's our second.
Well, like one that's actually related to the
Oh,
season.
related to? Then
Because we did like the punishments.
Yes. Fair.
Yeah, we're going to be doing bullpen trust trees.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get
That's
into
about
it.
Let's go.
Now entering Queens.
Welcome to Queens, where the Mets just finished up a 3-game series in Oakland, where they
Hell incarnate.
thankfully swept the A's. The third game was a bit stressful for a lot of reasons that shouldn't be, but regardless, they still got away with
You
a
look like
3-game
one of those
sweep.
people on a runway where you're just like directing stuff, except it was just not coordinated because you're going like this the entire game.
I know. It was an eventful one, but we'll get into that. But first off, as always, the injury report brought to you by Triboro MD.
Dr. O'Brien.
First off, Justin Verlander, he threw his first bullpen session. Buck said it went very well. Verlander himself thinks he'll be back by the end of April. So probably looking at the first series back from the West Coast trip. So I think that's the Nationals or the Braves. I forget which one. Him during the Braves series would be pretty nice, just saying. No pressure. But next off, we got Steven Nagosic, who took a comebacker off his elbow in Friday's game. He was pitching really well. He took a line drive to the elbow. It looked like his back, but I think it hit his elbow more than his back. But regardless, he goes on the 15-day IL with an elbow bone bruise. So that'll probably take a few days to heal up.
Yeah.
Probably
a more precautionary thing.
Yeah, a bone bruise doesn't sound too bad. Kind of one of those things we just gotta let it rest. The corresponding move was right-handed pitcher Jimmy Yacobonis. It's a fun name to say. After that, a moment of silence for Dennis Santana, who got DFA'd earlier this week. He has really good stuff. He just walks way too many guys, which I feel like is such a...
And he's in front of the pod, so that's
I know,
plus
I know.
20.
But I feel like it's always he has good stuff, but he always walks a lot of guys. That's always the one reliever thing. But unfortunately, he got DFA'd. Jose Butto was brought up, who pitched Game 3, because Max Scherzer, lingering soreness from his last start. They took some imaging, showed no structural damage. They say he's going to pitch Wednesday against the Dodgers. Scherzer said he's dealt with something like this before. It's not the scapula, but it's below it. He said he dealt with the same issue in 2019. So he says he's fine. I think it also could be one of those things where would you rather Scherzer pitch against the A's or would you rather pitch against the Dodgers? Either way,
it's kind of one of those things where it's it works out in so many different ways because it's not a big deal, but we could also pitch him against the Dodgers, so it's
so it's probably one of those things where he could have pitched through it.
He probably would have. He probably wanted to pitch through it,
right?
But then Buck thought it out and said all right, here, let's look.
Would
you rather especially appeal to his big game mentality? Would you rather pitch against the Athletics or the Dodgers?
Right. And Buck said that they were gonna inject a 6th starter during this long West Coast trip anyways. So instead of doing it against the Dodgers or Giants, they did against the A's, which I feel works out better for everybody. But after that, we'll get into the games.
Well, not for the Dodgers or Giants.
Well,
but
yeah. But regardless, looks like he'll be fine. Pitch Wednesday against the Dodgers, but Game 1, the Oakland series. Kodai Senga, shaky start, by far the shakiest we've seen him pitch. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. 4 walks.
And how many innings?
4 2/3.
Yeah, that's
right. So a little concerning, but this is also a game where the Mets scored a lot of runs.
Mm-hmm.
So he was sitting down like half an hour in between innings. So it's one of those things where.
And that's also not a real baseball stadium, so there's probably no like adrenaline or like any of that stuff.
I think they said on the broadcast that the mound is also different in Oakland. Right. So
of course why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. So not only was he adjusting from Japanese mounds to MLB mounds, but now he had to adjust MLB mounds. I'm just speaking too fast. But now he had to adjust to Oakland, who does everything wrong. Mm-hmm. But he sat down with like 30 minutes between each inning, so I'm willing to chalk it up as like he couldn't really get into a rhythm type thing.
Yeah.
And he ran into some bad luck. Some bloopers fell that scored a couple runs, so it is what it is.
Especially in that stadium, it's so big that a lot more like bloopers are going to fall.
Right. So it is what it is, but still looked good. 7 strikeouts in not even 5 innings. Take that any day. On the other side, James
Caprielin.
I can't pronounce it. Caprielin.
Yankee legend.
7 walks in less than 4 innings.
Yeah.
6 earned runs.
He literally is on an MLB roster to pitch against the Yankees, then does absolutely nothing for the rest.
Against anybody else. But for the scoring summary, a lot. They scored a lot of runs. Mucho runs. They won this game. I forget the number.
13-4, I want to say.
I know, sorry. 17-6.
17-6.
That's why I couldn't remember. Because it's 17 runs in a baseball game. Obviously, the Athletics pitching helped a lot because they walked about 16 batters.
The New York Jets beat the Oakland Raiders 17-6.
Seriously. So they scored a lot of runs, highlighted by Francisco Lindor grand slam. Obviously, if I went through the entire summer, we'd be here for a while. So they scored a lot. Mucho runs. But good first game. You know, this is what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. The Athletics are barely a major league team, so you have to beat up on them.
They're not a major league team. Right. You can't even say barely.
Right. I think the Syracuse Mets are better than the Oakland Athletics. But
maybe the Yankees AA Somerset Patriots.
Seriously. But this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat up on bad teams, and they beat up on them. So not much else to say there, but going on to game 2, Carlos Carrasco. He looked a lot better, I will say. But his velocity still dipped a little bit, and his control was not pristine. Mm-hmm. So 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. He also hit 3 batters. Mm-hmm. So chalk it up 4 walks, essentially. Much better. 2 runs. But, still not great.
4 painful walks.
Yeah. He's trending in the right direction, I will say. But again, it's the Athletics. So I don't know how much I can take from this. But look, they're still major leaguers. I should give them some credit because they're a much better hitting team than pitching team. But regardless, Carrasco did a lot better, but still not great. But again, he's trending in the right direction, so I'll chalk it up as a win. Mm. Scoring summary for this game, Alonso solo home run, Canna solo home run, and the Nimmo RBI double. They won this game 3-2. Very close game. It was a good game. Carrasco looked a lot better. Alonso's doing his thing. Canna hit his first home run of the year, which is great. Nimmo gave us the lead late innings. So, good game. You're supposed to beat up on these teams.
Yeah. Good teams beat bad teams.
Exactly. So, as much as you want to look at, someone's schedule and, they're playing bad teams, they're supposed to be beating the bad teams. Yeah. So far, so good. No stress. Well, not as much stress in this game. Game 3. Oh, boy. So, like I said earlier, Jose Butto came up to pitch this game instead of Max Scherzer. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Perfect. Look, he's in AAA. Last time he got called up was that Phillies game that was extremely back and forth that he kind of blew up in. I forget the exact score, but it was basically just a slugfest. So he got lit up. But bouncing back for his second major league start, five solid innings, I feel like you take that. J.P. Sears,
former Yankee legend.
He came in the Montas trade, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He looked good. I will say, he's very explosive with his windup. Something I just wanted to note.
Yeah.
Like, when he throws the ball, his leg kind of comes with him. But he looked really good, so maybe the A's got something there.
I think, we were talking about this. I think he is going to be a very high-end 4 or a pretty solid 3.
Right.
He's not going to be more. He's probably not going to be less.
Right.
Which those guys get paid. Like, I used the example of Tyone. Tyone got $60 million, something like $50, $60 million.
Right.
Guys like that get paid. Yeah. So he's a solid pitcher.
Very solid, yeah. I mean, pretty sure he struck out Alonso twice. And I think his fastball isn't, like, elite speeds.
He's a crafty guy. He's a craftier guy.
But I think he's very lengthy, so I think his extension, really helps his fastball play up. But just wanted to highlight that since, he was a Yankee. But scoring summary for this game, for a team that gets a lot of crap for not having enough power, Tommy Pham solo home run, Lindor solo home run, Alonso solo home run, and then a pass ball scores Escobar. So.
That's baseball, Susan.
Right. This game was a lot more stressful than it needed to be. The Mets were up 2-0. Then I believe Buto gave up his 1 run. No, I lied. They were up 1-0. Buto gave up his 1 run. Lindor made it 2-1. John Curtis then came in, kind of had his first clunker of the year. He gave up a 2-run double to Shea Langeliers, who was a former Brave, so it makes sense.
The, what's it called, Olsen trade?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, because it was him and Pache, and then Pache's on the Phillies.
The Phillies. Anyways, we could talk about the dysfunctional A's like this entire episode, but of course, Shane Langeliers rips a 2-run double in the gap. The A's then take a 3-2 lead. But Alonso in top of the 9th, not you, Pete Alonso, sorry. Not Justin Alonso.
Okay.
But Pete Alonso then...
Him?
No, the baseball player.
Okay.
Then comes up, top of the 9th inning, hits an absolute bomb, almost dead center. Ties the game at 3. Then chaos ensues. So the Mets got bases loaded in top of the 9th after the Alonso home run. Came down to Escobar. Bases loaded, 1 out. Grounds into a double play.
That I called.
That you called immediately. He pulled up his chair right next.
5 seconds later.
Pulled up his chair right next to me. He's gonna hit into a double play. Next pitch hits into a double play.
No, because you said something, and then I said no, it's the other way around. And I don't know if you want to spoil.
Not yet. Yeah. We'll get into that. But Escobar grounds into a double play, and then Jimmy Yacobonis makes his Mets debut. Has a little bit of an adventure.
I don't know what team legend.
I believe a Rays legend. I think they got him.
That
off
sounds
the Rays.
like a made-up name from the Rays.
That's what I'm saying. I think they got him from the Rays. He looks like a Ray. Like just like his wind-up. He's very like explosive. He's very like crafty.
He's a weirdo.
With a last name Yacobonis. Yacobonis. Like that's a name. I love saying that. But he has a little bit of adventure, gets into some trouble, but remains unscathed to bring the Mets into extra innings. Then Escobar starts on second base with the running on second base rule. I believe this is the first extra inning games that the Mets played. Mm-hmm. Have the Yankees played an extra inning game yet?
I don't think so. Clay Holmes almost blew up in Cleveland, but other than that, I don't.
So first extra inning games of the podcast.
Yeah.
Escobar starts on second base.
This is your extra inning coverage brought to you by The Triboro Podcast.
The Triboro Podcast. Escobar starts on second base. Alvarez gets him over to third with a flyout. And then Nimmo strikes out. Not looking good. Marte walks. Lindor walks on I think it was ruled a passed ball. No, I think it was ruled a wild pitch.
Regardless.
Regardless.
Ball got past the catcher.
Ball got past the catcher. Escobar strolls on in from third. Mets take the lead 4-3. Couldn't catch in after that, but it's okay. And David Robertson comes in, puts on a little Houdini act, hits the first batter he sees. So it's first and second. Batter after that bunts. Robertson gets the bunted ball, double clutches as he throws it to third, gets the out.
Is one clutch enough? Not too much.
Two.
Two makes it scary.
So that was the first out. And then I believe it was a strikeout. And then a ground out. Mets win the game 4-3. Very stressful. Again, props to JP Sears. It was a really good game by him, keeping the Mets down to only, I believe he only gave up one run. I think the Lindor home run was off another lefty. But overall, it was a very solid outing from Budo. Again, called up like a few days ago to come up to spot start. I think he did great. Like I said,
of called up.
Not yet. Little hint, but
Stop
not
teasing
yet.
him.
Not yet. Wait. Wait. But Budo looked really good. Again, 4 walks in 5 innings. Yikes. But look, he's still barely a major leaguer yet. He's still developing in AAA. So I think this outing is more than you can ask for from him. And like we said earlier, I think this plays very well. You have Budo pitch against the A's instead of the Dodgers or the Giants. So I think it worked out really well.
Especially not even for Scherzer and the team, but also for him. Because that's I don't think you could get more low pressure, low stakes than pitching against the A's in Oakland on a Sunday day game.
Right. So I think it worked perfectly for everybody. But look, it was a very stressful game for no reason. But thankfully, the Mets got the sweep as I asked. So thank you. This is what you're supposed to do.
Take notes, Yankees.
Yeah. But since you keep alluding to it,
I'm alluding to something?
A little bit. The big news of the day. The Mets swept. Yay. But earlier this morning.
Who cares about that?
Yeah, who cares? Earlier this morning, Brett Austin Beatty.
No, I'm out.
Is coming up to
I'm
the
out.
major leagues.
With Austin, I'm out.
He's a Texas boy.
Can we just call him Austin?
No.
I'm calling him Austin Beatty.
Okay. Brett Beatty is being called up, back up, I guess, to join the team. And I mean,
well deserved.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Look, these stats are just insane. In 9 games, Beatty slashed 400 batting average, 500 on base percentage. 500 on base percentage.
Literally flip a coin.
Literally got on base half the time.
Yeah.
An 886 slugging, which is good for 1.386
Dude,
OPS.
his on base was a good slugging.
I know. 5 home runs in 9 games. I'm at a loss for words, obviously. It's the right move. It was the wrong move to start him in AAA, and
we both agree. And I'm pretty sure they don't even get the year. Like, they don't get the year of service time. So it's like, why keep him down for 15 days?
Yeah.
If you're not gonna keep him down the entire, he should have been on the roster regardless.
Yeah. I mean,
I hate that. I hate service time manipulation.
I know. So do I. But it's the other thing is Escobar has just looked
and
almost unplayable.
Just because I don't want it to come off, I've been also very much so for Beatty coming up.
Yeah, no.
Just so that there's no confusion in the way I'm saying it.
I feel like that's apparent.
Yeah.
But Escobar just has looked unplayable. And look, and if his double play, bases loaded, ground out, is his last at bat, or at least starting at bat for the Mets. I don't know. The corresponding move has not been announced yet, so we're not sure Who's getting DFA'd, who's getting optioned, who's getting cut, we don't know.
Maybe even a potential injury that they've been like hiding.
Right. So if that ground out was Escobar's last starting at bat, if you want to call it, kind of fitting.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. He was frustrated. You know, he grounded into it. He got to first and he slammed his helmet down. And I feel for the guy. Like, I want him to succeed. I was really hoping he pulled through. And what I said earlier that he alluded to.
Well, you say what you started with. And
yeah, so when it was bases loaded, I said that watch Escobar come through here, and then Billy Epler's going to...
on the roster.
Yeah, Billy Epler's going to get back on the phone and like, hey, Beatty, turn around.
Yeah, and then I said, no, he's about to hit into a double play to solidify his DFA. Not even 5 seconds later, you just see a slow chopper to the shortstop.
Double play. But it's very fitting, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's been a very frustrating contract overall, I feel. I mean, besides his September, like, hot streak, Escobar hasn't really done much. And I absolutely loved the signing when it happened. I thought it was more underrated. Like, Marte was a good signing. Cano was a good signing. I really liked Escobar.
It did nothing for me. It was one of those signings I look at it and I'm like,
okay.
What?
Right.
Why?
But I do hope he stays around in some capacity. I don't think they're going to DFA him or cut him or trade him or whatever with him.
He's not Cano bad.
No. I think, look, baseball is a very mental game. I think we've kind of established that, some things we've talked about. So him knowing that Beatty's kind of lurking, look, these guys are not hermits. They have social media. You know, he can look at Beatty's stats. Right. He has Beatty's stats whenever he wants. And I'm sure they not talk about it, but he overhears things.
And also the media is probably down his throat with it.
Yes. So it could be a very well mental thing. But look, Escobar is still a very, I feel, important piece to this team. Forget about player. He's a great clubhouse guy. And he's like the heart and soul of this team. And I love the guy. I think he's great.
Just tell him, like, hey, you're not on the roster anymore. Like, we're DFAing you, but we're going to pay you twice your contract to be in the clubhouse. Like, we'll hire you as, like, our backup to assistant regional manager. Just so you stay in the clubhouse.
Stay in the clubhouse. But, no, so I still think he's valuable as, like, a utility guy. Maybe you work in some DH at-bats.
You have really bad value on utility players.
No, I don't. Anyways, I think you could get some at-bats at DH, utility guy. Maybe they start looking at Beatty in the outfield a little bit more. I don't know yet.
From the Canna at-bats, like I was saying earlier.
Right. Maybe. We're not sure yet. This is also very brand new.
We don't even know who's getting sent out.
Exactly. We don't even know the corresponding move, like I said. So, congrats to Beatty. I think well deserved. He basically gave the Mets absolutely no choice. But look,
literally half the time he gave the Mets no choice.
I know. But look, it's the right move. I think it deepens the lineup a lot. I forgot the exact numbers, but Beatty has the highest average exit velo in the minors. You know who's also playing in the minors right now?
Don't say his name.
Fernando Tatis Jr. is rehabbing right now.
Because he lost the juice.
He did lose the juice.
He lost the juice.
But Brett
his ringworm healed.
Finally. But Brett Beatty has a higher average exit velo than Fernando Tatis Jr. Small sample size, like 10-ish games, but still.
But Tatis hit like a home run every at-bat.
Right. It shows how much of an impact Beatty can make.
It's because he's a lefty.
Yes.
That's the only reason why.
I know.
Lefties are just better.
Yeah, you and your infatuation of lefties. But look, he's looked great. He deserves it. Any defensive question marks, I feel like will fix itself over time. Just
kind of smooth over.
Yeah, he's not going to be unplayable at third. He's not going to be Nolan Arenado. He's going to be average. He's going to be serviceable.
Happy birthday, Nolan Arenado.
Yeah. Happy 32nd birthday.
6-time Platinum Glove winner.
Yeah.
Had up until a couple days ago, had more gold gloves than years of service time.
Anyways, not a Cardinals podcast.
No,
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's a crazy stat, though.
It is. Yes, Nolan Arenado is a very good baseball player. Anyways,
Goddamn right.
Brett Beatty is going to make his debut in the Dodgers series. So looking ahead to the Dodgers series, starting a 3-game set with them tomorrow. So game 1, David Peterson versus Dustin May. Peterson's only faced the Dodgers once. It's a very short outing. 3 2/3, 2 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned. So that came last year, I believe. And then Dustin May, the Mets have not faced May since 2019 when he was a reliever in a relief appearance. So not much to go off of there.
And also, did you see that video game pitch he threw in the Diamondbacks game?
Dustin May?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was...
Yes, he is disgusting.
It literally looked like the TV broadcast glitched.
Yeah.
It just did not make physics sense.
It's like it lagged.
Defied the laws
here
of physics.
And then moved down.
Yeah.
But regardless, Dustin May is a very good pitcher. That's your game 1 set. Game 2, Tyler McGill versus Clayton Kershaw. McGill, 1 game against the Dodgers, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks. I feel like you take that any day of the week with McGill. But
and this Dodgers lineup isn't as good as years past.
I would say so as well. I believe that outing came in 21, so 2 years ago.
Okay.
Or was it 22? But still, even a year ago, the Dodgers lineup looks very different. Clayton Kershaw, on the other hand, he has a very good career versus the Mets. But obviously, Kershaw is not the Kershaw of the early 2000s, 2010s. But in 1 game last year, he was. 5 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 6 Ks. I feel like you can't really take Kershaw for granted. No matter as old as he is, he's still one of the better pitchers.
I was going to say, I feel like he's still, not elite.
No,
but, that step down, but he has, all that experience, which can make him almost play up more. And really the only question mark with him is the health.
Right.
So,
you basically know what you're getting when he's on the mound.
You have a chance to win when Clayton Kershaw's on the mound.
Definitely. And he is a lefty, so we'll see. Also gives Beatty, assuming he plays, his first look against a lefty, a very good lefty in that. So I think that'll be very telling.
And I feel like that's such a brutal matchup.
Yeah.
Because if it's Velo or whatever, he's probably faced flamethrowers. But this is one of the craftiest movement type lefties he may see in his entire
generational curveball.
He may never see a curveball that nasty in his career.
Exactly. So I think there's going to be a very good test for Beatty, assuming he plays. But the last game is what I'm excited for. Max Scherzer, like we mentioned before, up against Noah Syndergaard. Little former team action.
For both players.
Yeah. Syndergaard, the Mets have never faced him, obviously.
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Right. The 2 times they could have last year, his Angels start got pushed back a day. And then his Phillies start against the Mets got pushed back a day. So I think the Mets are finally going to be able to
and there's a chance
face
that if he
Syndergaard.
Gets pushed back a day.
I know. If he gets pushed back a day, I'm assuming he's
scared.
Just he just doesn't want to face the Mets.
Run free.
Seriously. And look, Syndergaard, as much as it hurts to say this, is not the Syndergaard that the Mets knew. He's a 92, 95 at best guy, sinker ball pitcher now.
He's no longer Thor.
He's no longer Thor.
I don't know.
I forgot what's his name. Anyways,
he's more like a Percy Jackson now.
Sure, half god, a demigod.
Even that's
too much. Donald Blake, that's what it is. Thor's alter ego, Donald Blake. Anyways, Scherzer versus the Dodgers. In his career, 93 2/3, a 2.59 ERA. He hasn't faced them since 2021, which is funny since that's the year he was traded to the Dodgers. But you kind of know what you're getting when Scherzer on the mound. Kind of with Kershaw, no matter how old he is, for the most part, he's had a rough few outings with the Mets. Scherzer's going to give you a chance to win anytime he's on the mound. But
you also just got to hope that pushback maybe helps with that wall. Maybe like push that wall another inning.
So instead of hitting the wall in the sixth inning, seventh,
maybe he doesn't. They take him out after 6, so he can't hit it in the seventh.
Maybe he never hits the wall at all. But some notable players. This is insane to me. At Dodger Stadium, Pete Alonso is hitting .360 with 7 home runs, 16 RBI in 12 games. He loves hitting at Dodger Stadium. Yeah. The only guy I could find that had like enough sample size against Syndergaard was Tommy Pham, but he's probably not even going to play against him. He's 4 for 10, hitting .400 for a flat 900 OPS. But he's probably not even going to play against him, so you can't even take that into account. Then Lindor, he's hitting .306 with a home run against the Dodgers, and Nimmo's hitting .310 with 2 home runs. So, not a lot to go off. I think that Syndergaard game is going to be kind of interesting. I mean, the Mets haven't seen Syndergaard. They versed the Angels and the Phillies last year when they were here on the team. They never faced him. So I don't know what to expect. He's either going the Mets
7 shutout no-hit innings or
he's out by
out of the third.
Right. So I don't exactly know what to expect, but no hate against Syndergaard, but it would be nice to get
I hope he sucks.
A little chip in. Because I feel like moving to the Angels was kind of mean. But anyways. But, look, that's the Dodgers series. Dodgers are still a very good team, I will say. Not as good. I mean, we've talked about it in our preseason projections. Not as good as years past, but they're still the Dodgers. You know, Jason Hayward is a good baseball player again. David Peralta is getting some clutch hits.
This is a little off topic, but I love how they literally got Hayward from the Cubs. Bellinger went to the Cubs, and now they're both like
and they just played against each other.
No, like they're both like coming back.
Oh, maybe reviving their career.
Yeah.
But look, the Dodgers are still the Dodgers. As much as we say that they're not as good, they're still going to be one of the better teams.
We're
in the
saying
league.
Not as good as the 110 wins.
Right.
More like 100 wins, 95
Maybe.
wins.
Yeah. But Dodgers are a very good team. I think there's going to be another good test for this team. I mean, the Padres series was a good test, and they almost swept that series. So, again, I think it's another good series for the Mets. You know, you got some really good pitchers at the top, and then Syndergaard. You get Dustin May is having a really good year. Clayton Kershaw. Syndergaard's there. So I think really good pitchers to match up. And, you know, I could easily see them taking 2 out of 3. Maybe a sweep. Maybe. I think Dustin May is probably going to give him some trouble. Kershaw is a lefty. Can't hit lefties still. But I'm also just excited to see Beatty play, you know. Like I said, if you're calling up the kids, you are playing them. Like how we mentioned in the Bronx, calling up Peraza, you should be playing him. Obviously, for the Yankees, that's not what's going on. For the Mets and Beatty, there's a very clear path. Can't get much clearer to Beatty playing every day as he should be. And look, you got Alvarez up. He's more out of necessity rather than he's ready. Beatty's ready. Alvarez is more out of necessity. But look, you got Beatty up, Alvarez up. I don't think Mark Vientos is too far behind. Ronnie Mauricio is tearing it up in AAA. The future is coming a lot quicker than I feel like a lot of people expected.
Yeah.
But look, Beatty, I think Beatty's going to be really good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
I agree.
I mean,
if he was a righty, he would be like an average player.
Uh-huh. Is it steamer or streamer projections? Steamer? Steamer? Anyway. Steamer has him projected at a 119 WRC+, meaning he's...
That's high for a rookie.
Right, meaning he's 19% better than an average player.
Yeah.
And even I think that's conservative.
Yeah.
I feel like he could easily be a 120, 125, maybe. 130's pushing it for a rookie, but I think 125 is definitely...
119 is, for a rookie, that's insane.
Right. So a 125 is even more so asking for a lot, but I don't think it's that unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are your expectations? Kind of outside looking in. Because I know you've been saying he should have been up from day one.
Well, my expectations are skewed because he's a lefty.
Uh-huh.
No, but honestly, like, I'm not even trying to make a joke. Like, I could legitimately, like, as a ceiling, see him be like a 140 guy.
Really? Okay.
As a
yes.
high ceiling.
Yeah.
But it's also a thing of, it could also be lower, and he doesn't really get a chance to play every day, and he doesn't have a chance to, like, say he starts slow, doesn't have a chance to raise it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it could be like league average or worse.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really start off that fast. You guys still want to win games. So he doesn't play every day, can't get into a rhythm.
Right.
Maybe get sent down. I don't think that'll happen. But
yeah. I think it's one of those things where I don't think he can be much worse than what we've seen from Escobar. I think Escobar is just completely overmatched.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he definitely has a clearer path to playing time than Alvarez. He should be the everyday third baseman, you know, barring any injuries or days off and things like that. Beatty you're calling him up, he should be your everyday third baseman. Again, Escobar can be a utility guy, he could be a DH. What say you? Whatever you want. Again, still waiting on the corresponding move, so don't know how to fully think about it until that's official. I mean, I'm obviously happy that Beatty's coming out, but do you DFA like Castro?
Mm.
Do you have one less pitcher?
I don't think you can. Don't you have to be 13-13?
I don't think so. You can either have one extra bullpen arm or one extra bench spot.
Okay.
So it can
I thought you had to be 13-13.
Yeah, I don't think so. A lot of teams like because it's evenly split, but I don't think it has to. I think it's kind of just like extra wherever you please. But they're playing 7 games in 7 days. So having an extra pitcher would be nice. So, you know, they'll probably send down Buto. So do you send down Buto to bring up Beatty, or do you send down Buto to bring up another pitcher? I think the easiest move would be DFAing LaCastro. I mean, look, I don't want him to be DFA. That's the thing, because he was used today. I believe Canna walked in the 9th inning, and then LaCastro pinch ran, and then he's still second base. So kind of like how we talked about Volpe.
It's the Tim LaCastro special.
Right. Kind of we talked of Volpe, a walk is a double. A single is a double. Because he gets on base, or someone gets on base for him. He comes in, he steals second.
Someone else's walk is a double.
Seriously. He just steals. Not only does he steal second base, he steals your stats.
Bro, he just chills on the bench all day. He's like, all right, I got to steal a base. All right.
Right. Yeah, call me up.
Call me in.
But like, I don't want to see LaCastro go.
Do you remember that movie Fever Pitch?
Yes.
We watched. You remember the closer? How the closer literally just slept.
Slept until he was needed.
Until he was needed.
That's Tim LaCastro.
That's Tim LaCastro.
Until he needs to run.
He's literally just sleeping.
I know.
It's like, oh, I gotta do some cardio.
Sure. It's the easiest move. I feel like it's the least painful move, in my opinion. But like Castro's specialty is needed, I feel, later in the summer rather than the beginning of the year. But it's one of those things where do you, quote unquote, risk losing him?
You're not.
Right. Risk losing him to someone picking up on waivers, and then, you know, you have Beatty. But I think if you do DFA him, kind of like you said, I feel like he can easily just be outrighted to AAA.
Because to me, it's a thing like this happens in the NFL too, where like when you have to like going into season, you have to cut down on rosters. There's like 5 guys that you really want on your roster, but you can't fit them, and everyone's like, oh, they're all gonna get claimed. They never get claimed.
Right.
It's just one of those things of every team has their own guys that they like significantly more than other guys.
Definitely.
Like there's a saying, no one loves you like your mama.
Yeah.
That's
basically it. Tim Castro has had a lot of mamas.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think that's the easiest move. They're not going to DFA Escobar. I would be shocked if they did.
Breaking.
I know, man, right now. But there's not really anything else. Unless, like I said, you send down Buto and you just... I know. You send down Buto and then you just replace him with Beatty. That's maybe easier than DFAing like Castro, but then again, you're down an arm. So you want to risk it like that? I think Castro should be DFA'd. I think that's the easiest kind of move
way
to
to
make.
Maintain all of your assets.
Definitely. And again, they're playing a lot of games with no rest days, so you never know when that arm's going to come in handy. But moving on to another prospect, Alvarez. If they talk about him for a second, he played for his first back-to-back games. He looked a lot better today. He had a well-struck hit in, I believe, the 10th inning. That moved over Escobar. Fly out. But well-struck. I mean, even you had to turn around because of the crack of the bat.
I was walking away. I heard the crack of the bat and I was like...
Right. So he's looked a lot better, and he's played back-to-back days. So it's one of those things, he just needs time to play. If you're going to play him once, twice a week, that's not going to help him. I feel it's redundant at this point, but they need to play to be like Volpe. He's played basically every day, right? He's had one off day.
He's had one off day.
Right.
And
I feel like now the results are kind of showing,
Better than kinda.
15, 16 games in, he just needs time to adjust.
As we
Alvarez
mentioned in the Bronx, there's been, I think we may have mentioned in Queens as well, all the stud rookies last year, you went through their first 10, 15 games played, their numbers are horrible.
Right.
And then you look at their numbers at the end of the season, damn, how, for them to be able to bring those numbers up to there makes you realize baseball is stupid.
Yes, definitely. So, I think Alvarez just needs more playing time. Beatty's definitely going to get the playing time, but it's just very exciting to see the Mets kind of look at their young guys and realize that they can help the team already instead of relying on the veterans. And, I think every team has a good mix of that. The Mets are a much older team comparatively. So injecting that kind of young blood I don't necessarily think it can hurt. But, look, Beatty's probably going to start near the bottom of the order, I would think, but...
Which is right.
Right, yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, but he can easily start making his way up. So, very excited to watch him. Very, very excited.
It's a thing of, as long as he's on the roster, you don't care where he is. As long as he's playing,
As long as he's playing, definitely. But I think that's about it. I mean, great series sweep on the A's. It's what you're supposed to do, so thank you. Thank you for making the right move, calling up Beatty. Play Alvarez more. Pete Alonso is the best hitter on earth. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got. See you in the Bronx. Yes.
In the Bronx.
Yes.
See you then.
See ya.
Now entering the Bronx.
Hello and welcome back to the Bronx. Recapping a series split with the Minnesota Twins. I was almost going to kill myself after the first 2 games. Thank God I was not watching either of them.
Yeah.
Some injury updates brought to you by the Triboro MD. Carlos Rodon is expected to throw a 2 to 3 inning live batting practice on Monday. That's really good for my fantasy team because, as you know, I just stole him from you.
No, I want to say stole.
I'd say
Mutually accepted agreement. Zach Allen's
if
better
you wanna,
anyways.
Seager's better.
Continue.
Donaldson plans to play in a rehab game on Tuesday, and then the big one on Saturday's game, Stan hit a double late in the game while decelerating going to second base. You could see he kind of reaches for his back hamstring. Yeah. He's on a 10-day IL. They called up Peraza. Got a lot to talk about with that later. To get into the game recap, for Game 1, 11-2 Twins, it was Joe Ryan versus Joni Brito. Joe Ryan went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts. Joni Brito, 2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 walk, 0 strikeouts. Did not get out of the first inning. That was...
That sucked, not only for my fantasy team, but I feel like he was due for a clunker.
Yeah.
But I did not think
Burritos
this
are supposed
bad.
to give the runs.
And that he did.
Literally the only 2 runs came off 2 solo shots by Rizzo. I'm sure you loved that.
Yeah, that was great.
Game 2, 4-3 Twins.
At least it was close.
Louis Varland versus Nestor Cortez. Bottom of the first, Anthony Volpe, first Major League home run. Judge goes back-to-back, 2-0 Yankees. Top of the 6th, our father, Carlos Correa, solo shot, still 2-1 Yankees. Then bottom of the 6th, Stan home run, 3-1 Yankees. Top of the 7th, Kyle Garlick hits a home run off Nestor. That's Nestor's day. He went 7 innings. And then enter Clay Holmes. Single, walk. 2 RBI double for our father, Carlos Correa. 4-3 Twins.
Amen.
I'm waiting on my my take about Mr.
Clay.
Clay.
Mr. Clay.
Louis Varland in that game, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Nestor Cortez, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 walks, 7 strikeouts. Didn't watch the game, but you'd love to see that from Nestor. 7 innings, 2 earned runs, both them solo shots.
Perfect.
That's great.
That's all you can ask for.
Game 3, Domingo Spider Tack Herman or Rosen Herman versus, I think Jack Curry said that. I didn't come up with that. Yeah. Versus Tyler Mahle. He was not on uppers. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Mahle, yeah. Bottom of the 2nd, known American hero Kyle Higashioka with a 2-run home run. Rizzo with another home run to make it 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of the 5th, DJ with an RBI single, 4-0. Top of the 7, Jose Miranda single to make it 4-1 Yankees. Then the double that I mentioned earlier was Stanton in the bottom of the 7th, the 2 RBI double to make it 6-1 Yankees. The reason I made the joke about Herman is, what was it, 3rd inning?
Something like that. It was midway through the game.
Yeah, early in the start.
Yeah.
So let's just start this with Domingo Herman was absolutely carving up the Twins.
Untouchable.
His line was 6.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, no walks, 11 strikeouts, and that 1 run was a run that Michael King inherited and then gave up.
Yeah.
So,
untouchable.
Yeah, untouchable.
Which is not his.
Not his.
That's not his thing.
No, he used rosin from inside the dugout.
Yeah.
Which
I didn't know you can have.
Well, that's just weird.
He said he doesn't like using it on the mound, so he'd rather use the rosin bag that's in the dugout.
You would think that's cheating, but it's also a thing of why wouldn't the umpire eject him if it were cheating?
Right, which I think is where the whole controversy starts.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah.
That it's almost like the thing with, I can't remember who it was, but someone said this a while ago with really bad players. It's let them cheat, let them use steroids, let them use spider tack, so that they give you great time while they're still there. Then they get suspended and you don't care because they're not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Domingo Herman, do steroids, do whatever you want.
Go ahead, bud. No one's stopping you.
No one.
Except
I will
for MLB.
I will give it to you.
Meet me at these coordinates.
Also, just to note, Tyler Mahle, 4.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Yeah. And then Game 4, this was what was it, 2 hours, 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Very short game.
Thank you, pitch clock.
It wasn't even entirely because of the pitch clock.
Well, yeah, Cole
We'll get
just
into that.
shoved.
It was Garrett Cole versus Pablo Lopez, the battle of the aces. DJ LeMahieu in the bottom of the third slot hit single to make it 1-0 Yankees. Saw that a lot from him in the series. Very wonderful to see.
Yes.
Bottom of the sixth, I'm quoting what I wrote down in my notes. DJ porches that bozo Pablo 2-0 Yankees.
Love it. Bozo.
Yeah, DJ LeMahieu short porch blast
Short
off
porch
the-
special.
Sport porch. It literally bounced off the top of the
Right.
wall.
You can't get more short
You
porch than
can't.
that.
So the big
Fake
story
stadium.
of this game, if you noticed, I only gave 2 score updates. That is because Garrett Cole decided to be very good.
Quite.
Garrett Cole went 9 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. That was
An ace performance.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That is what you want from an ace.
Right.
You want a guy that you need to win that game. He will win you that game.
Mhm.
I have, before I get into like some of the notes, just want to note Pablo Lopez, 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. But I have some notes about Cole. In 4 starts, 28 innings pitched, he has a .96 ERA. And I've talked about this before. I don't think he should have any runs given up on the
Yes.
season.
Right.
The Yankees, wins don't matter. Like, win-loss. He's 4-0. The Yankees are 4-0 in his starts. I think that does... For certain guys, I think you can argue that it does matter.
You can't. I feel like you can't knock a pitcher.
You can't take it away from them.
Right, but it helps
Yeah. Like, yeah.
because they only do so much, and I mean, besides offense, if the Yankees score 1 run,
Mm.
Cole single-handedly wins them the game.
Yeah. It's a thing of, like, wins don't matter, but if you look at Cole's career, his teams win a lot when he's pitching.
Right. So
Like, there
take
was-
that for what you will.
I think it was 2019. There was some crazy stat that, like, the Astros were, like, went on a 25-0 run when Cole was pitching.
Right.
Or something absurd like that. So I
Right.
think that for certain guys, there kind of is something that goes with that.
Definitely.
Where, like, when they're on the mound, maybe it's just, like, a confidence thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something like that.
Right.
But I definitely think there is something that can
Yeah,
go
I mean,
with that.
it says a lot about Cole, but
Mhm.
then it also says a lot about the team. So,
Yeah, no, short hair Cole is just the best pitcher
Different.
in baseball.
any pitchers out there watching for some reason, if you want to get better, if you have long hair, cut it.
Cut it.
Cut it.
Cut it. Yeah, no. So all those lists not having Garrett Cole in their top 10,
Looking
not in the
pretty funny.
not in the top 5. Yeah, you're
Not looking too hot right now.
yeah. To comment, this is kind of like a thing about the Stanton injury. Why are you calling up Peraza?
Okay. Interesting.
Why? Josh Donaldson is going to be back. They're saying he's probably going to be activated on Wednesday.
Right.
You are not going to play Peraza. Why are you calling him up?
I mean, who else would you call up?
Anyone. It's because it's a thing of you have an off day tomorrow.
Right.
You play Tuesday. So at max, he's going to get 1 game.
Yeah.
Why are you calling him up? He could have played today in the minors. He could play tomorrow in the minors. He could play Tuesday in the minors. If you're not going to actually play him, why are you calling him up when you could call someone else up that you could just DFA?
Right. Fair. I mean, I got nothing.
I just
don't,
hate what they're
I don't
doing
know.
with his development. Because even
Yeah.
last year, he was on the team for like 60 games, and he played like 25 games.
Right.
I just trade him, leave him in the minors, or call him up to stay.
Right.
You can't be doing this, and then that, and then this,
Right.
and that. It's such a just... I hate the way this organization treats prospects. The fact that Anthony Volpe made the opening day roster was like the biggest thing since sliced bread. I hate how... Ah!
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, it's hard to look at it in any kind of positive light
There isn't any.
because you don't have room for him.
Just-
Because I mean, look, Stanton's out, so Cabrera's probably gonna play outfield every day.
I want to cry.
then you have Rizzo, you have Glaber, you have Volpe, you have DJ. Unless you plan to like give DJ a day off, then Glaber, then DJ, then Glaber, then Volpe, like you know what I mean?
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't even give DJ a day off.
Right.
Because he has to play third. There was one thing that like the only thing that I could think of, and I think this is one of the dumbest things on the planet, is play him in the outfield.
Peraza.
That's why I said I think it's a dumb, but that's the only like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what else would you do?
Yeah, I know. There's no space for him on the infield.
So
he's a bench piece.
That you already have how many of those? Like,
yeah.
I think this was.
It's a little bit of a head. Not
little.
Yeah, I know. It's a head scratcher.
It's
for sure. Look, maybe they know. Obviously, they know something we don't. But like, it's hard to look at it and not think that it's.
They don't
like you
know
said,
anything that we don't.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Yeah, if the same thing if my Mets and their prospects. If you're calling up the kids, you have to play them.
Yes.
I mean, it seems simple to us.
Yes.
But for some reason, it seems so overly complicated for a majority of these teams.
Oh no, we have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa on a $6 million contract. If only there was a way that we could have not tendered him a contract in the offseason.
I know.
Oh no.
I wish they had that option.
These rules with baseball are so stupid. They literally just did not have to offer him a contract.
Right. And look, I still stand by that. I think he's valuable as a utility piece. I know.
No, I know.
But
not on this team.
You have guys, like, if you want to penny pinch, you have guys who are going to cost less to be able to basically fill in that IKF position.
I agree he has value as utility man, but not on this team.
Right.
Because every time he's in the infield, he makes a disastrous error.
Unless he's at third.
And he still makes a horrible error. So, okay, you're going to play him in the outfield. You already have a logjam in the outfield. Then
Right.
Bader comes back. You have another
Even more
logjam
so.
in the outfield. So
It doesn't make sense.
And also, I don't want people getting on him too much because he is IKF. He is good for what he is.
Yeah.
We don't need that on the Yankees. But people are going to get on him for being...
On the Yankees?
Yeah, which he just shouldn't be.
Right. It's almost a disservice to him as a player.
It is.
But
it's... Anyways, the point of, like, the Peraza injury was, like, the Stanton injury. The Stanton injury, that's why Peraza got called up. What do you do?
With Stanton?
It's like...
I honestly...
Or what to, like, make of. Not what... Because he's going to stay on the team.
Yeah.
But, like, what do you make of it? Can I just...
Yeah, go ahead.
There was a thing that Michael Kay said in the broadcast. He has missed 39% of games for the Yankees.
Since he's been on the team.
Since he's been on the Yankees.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he's too big.
I do too.
Like, look, the guy looks amazing.
He's a Greek god.
He is. He's chiseled, but like, it seems to be an issue. Like, good for him.
He needs to get some off-season training with Pablo Sandoval.
I know. Like, I think he's just too big.
Yeah.
I don't think he has enough flexibility. I mean, like, you see him run. He's like very stiff, I feel. But it's one of those things where, like, all right, tell him to cut some weight, you know?
Mm.
Does that zap his power? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But, like, it's one of those things where, like, yes, this is the quote-unquote easy answer, lose some weight.
Mm.
We're not calling him fat, by the way.
We're saying lose some muscle.
Yeah, he's too muscular. But, like, you lose some of that, what is that going to affect? I know, lose some muscle.
Lose some muscle.
Right, but, like, if you tell him to do that, what does that affect? And is it the thing that, is he getting hurt because he's not playing the outfield and he's just DHing, or is he getting hurt because he's playing the outfield?
It's like half and half.
Right, so then what do you do?
Like, there was, and I just, something that I wanted to, like, mention, it's kind of off topic about Stan, but, like, we've talked about this a couple times, like, this is just proof he's not on steroids.
Yeah.
Because, like,
he gets
there's
hurt way
no
too much.
way that you could be on steroids while missing this much time.
Right.
Like, you would not. If he's
It
taking
just doesn't
roids
seem
to
possible.
be stronger, he'd be taking some HGH as well and like stuff
Right.
like that. So I just don't. I don't know. That's just one thing.
Yeah, it's a very frustrating predicament, I guess you want to call it, because it's true. It's like, what do you do? What can you change? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They try putting him in the outfield, maybe get some more flexibility. He gets hurt. All right, we'll just DH you. He still gets hurt.
Yeah.
So, like,
I don't.
and I don't know his injury history as much as you do. Is it like always his legs? Or is it just something else every time?
Yeah, it's usually the legs. Like
Right.
calves, hamstring.
Right.
I think, I want to say there's someone with the oblique. That could
Right.
be judged, but I want to say.
Yeah.
That's still lower body, though.
Yeah, I'd still consider that.
Because
But,
your core is lower body.
right. So it's one of those things where, like, in theory, it seems like he just needs to play the outfield more and just, move his legs. But then he gets hurt.
Yeah,
So
it's like.
what's the deal? It's very frustrating because obviously he's such a good player when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it's just a 10-day stint and he's back.
I don't think so. I think it'll
Right.
be at least 2-3 weeks.
Right.
Especially with him, they usually baby it. Especially with a hamstring, that's like an oblique where you really got to make sure
Right.
you take care of it, or else it
100%.
could be a lot longer
Definitely.
recovery.
Right.
Yeah, no, there was like another note I had is I absolutely love the Game 4 lineup, but it would have been a lot better with Stanton in it.
Yeah.
Like, the Volpe, Judge, Rizzo, Glaber, DJ, I love. But if you have Volpe, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, DJ, Glaber,
Right.
that just deepens it so much more.
Definitely.
Because I feel like we've talked enough about Stanton, but kind of talk about like the other pieces on that. Volpe is the perfect leadoff hitter.
Yes.
DJ is the perfect 5-hole hitter.
Right.
So it's like, it's perfect. Because you've seen that every game that Volpe is a leadoff hitter. He does something that shows why he is a good leadoff hitter.
Right.
Like yesterday, so Saturday's game, he went 1 for 2, 2 walks, 3 stolen bases.
Yeah.
Today, he went 1 for 4 with a stolen base. Every time he gets on, he messes with the pitcher. He does something like that.
Right.
And then you have guys like Judge, Rizzo, Glaber, DJ behind him that have a high chance to bring him in. That's perfect. I'm definitely unhumbly giving myself credit for saying Volpe was the perfect leadoff hitter, DJ was the perfect 5-hole hitter.
Right.
Because look today.
It worked.
DJ had 2 RBIs.
Right.
And I said that there were some positives to come with this series. I think the biggest one is Volpe seems to have adjusted to Major League pitching.
Right.
In his last 14 at-bats, he has 4 hits, a homer and a double, and 3 walks, 4 stolen bases.
Right.
That is, I don't have the slugging or OPS, but that's 286 average with a 412 on base.
Right.
With some pop and 4 stolen bases.
Right. And 412 on base, like you
That
take that,
is-
especially because he's so fast.
Yeah.
Get on base, steal a couple bags.
A single's a double.
Right. So
Absolutely. A walk's a double. That's like my thing with him too. I don't care if he's one of those guys that ends up being a high on base, low average guy, because a walk is a double, a single is a double. Either way, you get to first, you're able to steal second.
He'll be on second the next
Yeah.
pitch. So again, he, like you said, he's
And then he'll
perfect.
be on third the next pitch.
Right. And it's almost as if you play the kids and you let them have time to adjust, they'll adjust.
For those
They'll
listening,
catch
I
up.
did like a shocked face and I put like my hands on my cheeks like,
Yes.
what?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
You just need to give them some time. And like you said, he's been known to start slow
Exactly.
and adjust as he goes.
Exactly. Like there was a thing of,
Lo and behold.
I want to say it was like midway through May last year in the minors, he was hitting under 200.
Right.
And he ended up hitting like 250 on the year with like an 850 OPS.
Right.
And still sold 50 million bags.
Right.
So I'm not worried at all.
No.
I think people are still freaking out. He's been very good defensively. He had a good play at the top of the 9th today for Cole's game. I'm not worried.
No.
Like,
and
I'm very excited to see what he does going forward.
no, definitely. And there was never reason to
Yeah.
worry in the first place.
Just doomers.
I mean, it's April 16th.
Yeah.
The
Game
season's
16.
right. The season's been on for 2 weeks,
The
2.5.
Yankees have not lost a series.
Right.
And people are like, and even today, in his first at bat, he almost hit an opposite field home run, but like last second hooked foul.
Right.
So it's like
He's catching up.
Shut up. Like if you're freaking out, just shut up.
I know it's too early.
Yeah. Kinda to move off from the offense.
Let's talk about the bad.
I have alluded to him earlier. Clay, no longer Sherlock Holmes. Who's Watson? He's Watson now.
Yeah.
He's
no longer step down.
He's no longer Sherlock Holmes. He's now Watson. In 31 innings since July 12th, Clay Holmes has a 5.81 ERA and has walked 18 batters.
In how many innings?
In 31.
Jeez.
His whole thing in Pittsburgh, why he was so bad, was because of the walks.
Right. And starting to creep
up.
In
the Cleveland game, he did not look well. He almost blew that.
Right.
We'll get more into it in the bullpen trust trees,
okay.
But I am
losing trust by them outing.
But yeah, seems like a great guy.
Yeah, again, we're never talking bad about the person.
Yeah,
but
this is.
You gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
Talk to Matt Blake.
Yeah.
I don't know what do you what have you seen? You think?
I don't know. I don't know. Like he was having. Obviously, I'm not saying greatest closer of all time, but he was pitching like the greatest closer of all time.
Right.
And I don't think that's crazy to say. In like 30 innings, he had like a .2 ERA.
Yeah.
Like that's not. And I'm pretty sure he struck out like 2 batters an inning.
Right.
So that's not that crazy to say. And then he just
falls off a cliff
to Pittsburgh. Clay Holmes.
Right. And now it begs the question: is he first half or is he Pittsburgh? You know what I mean?
But I just don't get how you go from that utterly dominant to just
lost.
Not even lost, just like it's like a Space Jam where he got his power zapped.
Zapped, yeah. I know I don't know. It's something that I'm sure is being talked about.
Yeah.
I'm sure Matt Blake is on top of it. Yeah. But he's not off to a great start.
Talk for a couple seconds because I want to look something up really quick.
Sure. But personally, I would want to do more research. Like, is his spin rate down? Is his velocity down? Like, is he just missing pitches? Like, what's going on here? Is he dealing with an injury? Like, does he look like he's laboring?
That may have been part of it last year.
Right.
When he went on the IL. Yeah, and then, like, he seemed, like, okay. When he came back, he didn't seem the best.
Right. And, I mean, I feel like you take a middle. Like, you're not going to get that .2 first half. You hopefully don't get Pittsburgh, but you take somewhere in the middle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I found what I was looking for. I wasn't sure. I remembered hearing something of last year, he had an option. He doesn't have options.
Okay.
So I was just thinking, like, send him down for a little bit.
Let him figure it out.
Fix it out there, but he does not have options. So.
Right. So, trial by fire.
Yeah. But please not in the 9th inning.
Right. I was going to say.
1-run game.
Yeah. It's one of those things where he's going to be.
Let him pitch low leverage.
6th, 7th inning guy in a blowout.
Even 7th, I just
throw
him in the 6th. Like.
Right.
All right, that's like it I have for like my overall notes. Do you have any?
No, I mean, I think Brito was due for a bad start. But again, I don't think he
ran out of Imodium.
Yeah.
So he had to get up the runs.
He absolutely exploded. But look, he's still young. It's not like one of those things where you're going to write him off. But
3rd major league start.
Yeah. He had 2 great starts, 1 really, really bad start. Yeah. So you work on it, you see where he goes from here.
I will say he did not look good at all. From what I saw in like clips and like people freaking out, every pitch was either in the dirt or middle.
Right.
So it's like that's.
And it could be a mental game too.
It could
I had 2 really good games, so I got to keep it going. Then he presses. Nestor looks great. I think talk about the bullpen in a bit. Needs some rearrangement, I think.
Rosengate, Herman look good.
I mean, yeah.
My Cy Cole pick looks
fantastic.
Phenomenal.
But look, Cole did what he's supposed to do. Herman surprisingly did fantastic.
Herman did more than what he was supposed to do.
Right. I know you wanted a sweep, But this is a very good Twins team, so I think you take a split.
With how the first 2 games happened, you were on your hands and knees thanking our good Lord Garrett Cole that we got a split.
Yeah.
So
and look, I mean, Game 2 was like an inch from being won.
If Clay Holmes did not be second half Pirates Clay Holmes,
right?
So I think I saw Clay Holmes doing the chop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, I think you take it given the circumstances, but you just look to improve.
Yeah. So look ahead. The Yankees are starting a 3-game series against the Angels on Tuesday. Before we get into the games, got a couple of friendly faces. The return of Brandon Drury, Gio Urshela, and Phil Nevin. I was shocked it was only 3 people.
Oh, yeah?
Because I know Tyler Wade was there.
Yeah. He's on the Athletics now.
I want to say Mike Ford was there as well. I could be wrong on that. But there was Austin Romine. Mm-hmm. There was literally like 10 guys. Like, I'm honestly, when I was looking at their roster, I'm like, really?
Where did they go?
Only 3?
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of shocked me. All right, Tuesday is the first game, like I said, 7:05 start. Jose Suarez versus Clark Schmidt. Jose Suarez versus the Yankees in his career, 19 innings pitched, 5.21 ERA. Definitely want to exploit that. Clark Schmidt had 1 relief appearance, 2/3 of an inning, 1 run, so that's just...
Yeah. Not much to go off there.
The Wednesday 7:05 game, Griffin Canning versus Joni Brito. Neither have pitched against the Yankees or Angels.
Right.
Thursday at 4:05, Patrick Sandoval versus Nestor Cortez. Patrick Sandoval versus the Yankees, 7 innings pitched, 2 runs. Nestor versus the Angels, 13.2 innings, 2.63 innings. Or ERA.
ERA.
Yeah.
Good pitching matchup against 2 very good lefties.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun.
Something to note, obviously Ohtani's not pitching. Ohtani's pitching Monday because the Red Sox have like
an 11 a.m. game.
Yeah, it's because of the Boston Marathon. That
is that why it is?
Day,
okay.
I think they called it that.
Right.
I'm assuming that's why they're doing it as like not special,
but like a.
You know where?
Yeah.
So they're having, which is always weird to have a series end on a Monday.
Right.
Yeah, some numbers. A lot of guys had like average numbers against the Angels, except for Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge versus the Angels, 301 batting average, 10 home runs in 28 games played.
Right.
Anthony Rizzo was another guy versus the Angels, 304 batting average, 6 home runs, 20 games played. Honestly, it's getting silly how every time like I look at Judge's numbers versus a team, I get like shocked he's hitting like over 300 with a lot of home runs. It's like, why am I surprised?
Yeah, at this point, Aaron Judge is a very good baseball player.
As I mentioned last episode, he's came to Mike Trout levels.
Yes.
Speaking of Mike Trout, versus the Yankees, he is hitting 303, 10 home runs in 50 games played. I was shocked that it was that low.
Right.
I'm shocked his numbers were not like 400, 20 home runs in like 40 games played.
Right.
This man absolutely owns us. There's a reason he is like the most talented player in the game, at least as a hitter.
Right.
He's been hot too to start the year. Or am I?
No, I'd say so. I mean, he's been Mike Trout.
He's been Mike.
Been Mike Trout.
As I said, you don't look at his numbers because he's Mike Trout. Another one that shocked me: Ohtani versus the Yankees, only hitting 200, but he has 7 home runs in 17 games.
Oh.
I thought he was hitting like 300 versus the Yankees with like 10 home runs in 15 games.
Must be some clutch home runs then.
There was one game I think he had 3. So
inflated. Doesn't count.
I think it was 2, and then the next game he had 1.
Gotcha.
But like still,
yeah. Always got to be careful of Ohtani.
Yeah, and this is, in my opinion at least, I don't think their records like really reflected it. Let me check this really quick.
It's a very different Angels team.
Yeah.
I will
they're
say.
7-8, but I think they're a much better team than 7-8.
Yeah, their pitching has still been their downfall a little bit, but
I think their lineup is a lot better than
definitely
it's
better.
Been, at least a lot more depth.
Yes.
Significant amount more depth.
Definitely.
Logan O'Hoppe, rookie catcher, looks very good.
He does. Probably see him against Nestor.
Yeah.
At the very least.
It's not going to be the Angels of past.
No.
Just note that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's really
Yeah.
all I got.
Right.
For the Yankees, you got anything else to add?
No, I think, like you said, it's definitely a different Angels team. I think their pitching can still be exploited a little bit, but the offense should not be written off by any means. I think it's a lot better than people
it's not
are
like
realizing.
They have, like Cole, Nestor, and then like Rodon.
Right, you have
they got Nestor, and then
Brito,
Clark
and
Brito
and Schmidt. So it's like you don't really know what you're gonna get from them. So I think it'll be a fun series. It definitely will.
Yeah.
But I don't think it should be going into it like an easy.
It's not going to be easy. It's good thing it's in the Bronx.
The Bronx.
So yeah.
Yeah, you got that home field advantage, but no, I think it should be a good series. And it's always nice to see Ohtani and Trout.
Yeah. Ohtani, just one more note to add. I think, or there was someone I was listening to on the fan last year that Aaron Judge doesn't sell tickets. That may sound weird, but like when people go to the Yankees, they see the Yankees. They don't necessarily go to see one individual player. But Ohtani
will definitely sell tickets.
So that's just
got a lot of revenue coming your way. It makes sense. No, it does. I mean, you got arguably the best player, and then arguably the most talented player.
Yeah.
So.
And then you have Ohtani and Mike Trout.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So.
But no.
Yeah, that's really all I got. We'll see you guys in Manhattan where we're doing our bullpen trust trees.
See you there.
Now entering Manhattan.
Hello and welcome back to Manhattan.
We're
going to be doing
long time no see.
Yeah, long time no see.
It's been a bit.
We're going to be doing our bullpen trust trees. Since we just talked about Yankees, going to go
start off
in.
there.
Do you want to start top or bottom? I'd say top.
Let's go. I was gonna say let's go top down.
This is including healthy or not including hurt guys.
Okay.
I'm just doing healthy because this would look very different.
Right.
If there were healthy guys, should we do one at a time or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, for my first two, I'll not because I have 1A, 1B.
Okay.
For 1A, I have Ron Marinaccio. 1B, I have Wandy Peralta.
Okay.
I just think they're both different guys. They both kind of have. It's kind of like yin and yang. Where one does the exact opposite of the other.
Okay.
Righty lefty. Wandy is more of a slower guy, change-up guy. Marinaccio is more like fastball slider. So it's like they are pretty different, but I trust them like.
Yeah, and I think those are the best picks. I was gonna say Marinaccio is definitely up there for me. I feel like they haven't been using him.
He definitely deserves a lot more high leverage.
Right, definitely. And I feel Wandy, they kind of they use him everywhere.
I love that man.
Which is great.
He literally finished, or he struck a guy out in 20 seconds.
Oh yeah.
That's. I love
He'll be a
Wandy.
trivia question in a couple of years, I feel.
Then for my second spot, I have Michael King.
Yeah.
I still think he's like fixing little things. I think he'll be fine. If Loaiza and Canely were healthy, I probably would have put them as 2 and 3.
Right.
Then number 3, I have Clay Holmes. That is just because a lot of the other guys, in my opinion, are kind of like unproven.
Right.
But
you kind of know what you're getting with Holmes for the most part, but
give it a week and he could easily be at the bottom of this list, though.
Or at the top. And it's one of those things.
I love how you just said you kind of know what you're getting with him, and then we just said two very wide range of outcomes.
Right. As of right now, but he has the upside.
He has the best track record of all these guys, even though that track record was like 3 months.
Right.
So it's like.
Yeah. But no, I think middle of the pack, definitely.
For now, at least.
For now. But again, he has the ability to either be number 1 or number 8.
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Then after him, I have Ian Hamilton at 5.
Okay.
I just love the Slambino.
Yeah.
He is scary.
Oh yeah,
he is an intimidating
he's
person.
Very. What's the word? Not frightening.
Scary.
I get scary is just like.
He looks like he looks like the enforcer from like a 1980s mob film.
Yeah.
Like he's one of those guys that doesn't need a gun. He's just like arms crossed, just like
ID, please.
Yeah, seriously.
He's the pitcher that give you a stink eye on a mound.
Exactly. Number 5 through 7, or 6 through 8. It's kind of just a toss up.
Yeah.
I put Albert Abreu because he's one of those guys. His numbers at the end of the year will look good, but I just have no faith in him at all. That's why I put him over the other two guys, only because the numbers at the end of the year look pretty solid.
Yeah.
The walks concern me. That's why he's 6, not higher up. He has filthy stuff, but just control it. There's a reason he was DFA'd like 4 times last year.
Right.
By other teams, not the Yankees.
Yeah.
Because if people forget, he was traded to the Rangers for our father, Jose Trevino. Then he got DFA'd by the Royals. I think he got DFA'd by another team. And
now he's
back
here.
To the Yankees. So it's like...
Yeah, it's one of those things where he's getting DFA'd for a reason, but the stuff is definitely there.
I think he may get DFA'd when Weisgar or Canley come back.
Right.
Also, important note, Colin Brewer got DFA'd.
Right.
Just because he was kind of like that mop-up guy and wasn't going to pitch for a while.
It's one of those short end of the stick type of things.
There's been no move yet saying what he'll do. I'd assume he's going to clear waivers, resign.
Right.
Nothing for sure though, so don't want to say, oh, this is gonna happen, whatever.
Yeah.
Number 6 or 7, I have Greg Weissert. I don't think he's pitched all this year.
Yeah.
Like when I saw he was on the roster, I was like, wait, he's
since
on the
when?
What? He had filthy stuff last year. He had one bad outing that just skewed his numbers, but other than that, he was pretty solid.
Right.
I think he'll be solid, but we literally have not seen him this year.
Yeah.
And the only reason he's 7 and not 8 is because I see Jimmy Cordero pitch and I want to
cry,
hide. I literally just want to go under my blanket and wait until I hear Michael K saying, "Oh, and we're going to the bottom of the whatever."
Right.
Just this dude's yoked. He literally. There's one thing he does that's kind of sick, but he shouldn't be allowed to do it because he's not good. He so he has kind of sleeves that go down to here.
Okay,
right?
3/4 sleeves.
Kind of.
Right.
But because he's massive.
Yes.
But he pulls up his right. He's a righty. He pulls up his right sleeve in the middle, so his right arm looks so much bigger.
Right.
If you're good, I love that.
Sure.
But you're not.
Yeah.
You haven't been pitching well.
I know.
If he was pitching well, love that.
Sure.
But
it's one of those things where you can't, quote unquote, show up if you're not producing, I guess.
Yeah, he's flexing, but it's what are you
it's
flexing?
It's like pimping a home run when you're down 10.
No, it's like pimping a home run that isn't a home run, then you get thrown out at second.
Donaldson.
I'm not referring to Donaldson.
No?
Why would you say I'm referring to Donaldson? Donaldson has never done that multiple times.
No, of course not. Why would he? Anyways.
I'm looking at you, Josh Donaldson. Yeah, obviously, like I said, Loaiza and Canley, if they were on this list, they would probably be, they may be 3 and 4 over Michael King, just because Michael King hasn't shown much.
Yeah.
Loaiza may have even been 2nd over Wandy, just because I think Loaiza is insane.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But the injuries can't do that.
Yeah, you have to.
Canley hasn't pitched this year. Who knows? But yeah.
Definitely injuries have to take a part, because it's one thing if you're producing and you have good stuff, but if you can't stay on the field, how much use are you to the team, especially for a reliever?
How much can you trust them?
Right, because you're sitting down for 2 weeks, you pitch for a month, shut down for another 2 weeks, and you pitch for a month, blah blah blah. So definitely, but I think Loaiza, for me,
he could even be 1.
I was gonna say, I feel like
he probably would be 1.
Yeah, he's probably one of the guys you want to see in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
But
I would be fine if Michael King is healthy. If him, Marinaccio, Wandy, or Loaiza closed, I wouldn't care who.
Right.
I think Clay Holmes got some early saves, but that under is looking mighty fine.
It is. But I think Clay Holmes has kind of lost his quote unquote closer.
Juice.
That too.
Got space jammed.
He did get space jammed, but it's one of those things where it is early. We will say it is early, so talk to us in a month.
Clay Jordan Holmes, or Clay Michael Holmes.
But talk to us in a month, and this list could look entirely different.
Yeah, Jimmy Cordero may be my 1. Who knows?
relievers are just most
The life
volatile
of
position.
a reliever is wild.
Yeah.
You literally just sit down all day, be like, oh, it's the 8th inning, start warming up. Oh,
Right.
the team scored 5 runs.
Sit back down.
Right.
And then I won't see you in 2 days.
The same thing
Right.
tomorrow, and you may get sent down.
Yes.
So
unless you're Tommy Canley, you just drink a Red Bull.
Yeah.
And then you drink another Red Bull.
And then you
drink another Red
10
Bull.
more Red Bulls.
And then you sit back down.
And then you stream on Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope your the intervention we had at the beginning.
Can I mention something about this? Is like getting very off topic, but did you know Tommy Canley streamed on Twitch for like 2 months and just didn't say anything?
Did he really?
Like he didn't advertise it. He's just doing it.
Sure.
And then it just one day people are like, wait, that's Tommy Canley, and then
Right.
it just blew up.
Sure.
So I thought
He's a man of many talents.
That's just completely random, but I thought that was like
pretty funny.
hilarious. Yeah.
But that all you got for the Yankees?
Yeah, that's all I got.
So moving on to the Mets bullpen, I think it's very cut and dry. I feel.
Especially number 1.
Yeah, number 1 is obviously David Robertson. He's been everything and more that you can ask for. Obviously, when we first signed him, the closing job wasn't his. He was expected to be 7th, 8th inning setup guy. But obviously, with Diaz going down, Robertson has stepped up big time.
Yeah.
In 7 innings and a third, 3 saves, 0 earned runs, 9 Ks. And Buck has kind of not shown his cards, but like he's not going to use Robertson as a closer. You know, if the top of the lineup is coming up in the 8th inning, he's going to use Robertson there.
Yeah.
So I think it gives the bullpen a little more flexibility.
In like principle.
Yes, definitely. Like he's probably going to end up with 75% of the saves, probably more. But this signing has just been huge, more than you can ask for given the circumstances. So Robertson is an obvious number 1. And I feel like I wouldn't say 1A, 1B, but a close second is Adam Ottavino. I mean, he had a career year last year. Well, I won't say career year. He had a really good year last year.
His 2019 with the Yankees was just absurd.
Exactly. So far, 6 innings, 1 save, 1.5 ERA, 8 Ks. He really only had 1 clunker, which is walk-off during the Milwaukee series, but everything was going wrong during the Milwaukee series, so I'll kind of just
give him a pass.
I'll give him a pass for that one.
Do you have anything more for Ottavino?
No, go ahead.
I have just seen him hang too many sliders in big spots.
Yeah.
The George Springer home run. There were multiple walk-offs that he gave up. When he was with Boston, I remember the Yankees hit like multiple, not walk-offs, but like clutch late inning like hits.
That would later on probably win the game.
Even in the Mets, didn't he also give up some like big hits to the Yankees? Or like
I mean, I can't remember exactly, but even if he did, he's still that was kind of like a clunker, I guess. It's one of those bad innings because he ended the year with like a sub-3 ERA. I know you can't see it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just one of those things of like, I could see it from the Mets' perspective, but every time I see him,
you just can't help
it. Like, there's a joke that like he is nonstop helping the Yankees win, no matter where he is.
Right.
So it's just think of like
he's a sleeper agent.
He is.
But no, he's looked really good, and it seems like he's. I don't want to say fixed, but touched up his 2-seamer. Because if you've seen it, this thing's disgusting. Like it'll start going out.
You got the 2-seamer in and then the slider away. And
right.
That's just...
So the 2-seamer will start outside of the zone and curve back in and hit like the left side of the box.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting. And it's worked really well from him. But number 3, I feel like he doesn't get talked enough about. John Curtis. I mean, they signed him 2 years ago now. Maybe a little less. Because he missed the entire of 2022 with Tommy John. Came back this year and 7 innings and a third, 1.23 ERA, 6 Ks. And he seems to be a guy that's going to pitch like 6th, 7th, and he could pitch 6th and the 7th, like a 2-inning reliever guy.
Those are very valuable.
And he's looked great. I mean, his pitches look great. He's not walking a lot of guys, if at all. And it's one of those things where it's a smart move by the front office signing him to that 2-year deal, knowing he was going to miss 22. because so far he's been everything you can ask for. So for my fourth spot, a little shared, so I get like 4A, 4B, is Drew Smith and Brooks Raley. Drew Smith, he's the type of guy where like every year I feel this is gonna be his breakout year. Then he's like, okay, like, oh no, he's gonna break out this time, and he's like, he can never take that
almost
step
like Clark
of
Schmidt.
right. Like you always expect him to take that next step, but he just never does. And a big part of that, in 6 innings and a third, he's walked 5 guys.
Yeah.
So it's like a walk per inning, which isn't gonna cut it as a reliever because that can really come back to bite you. But besides that, the complete opposite side, in those 6 innings, 10 Ks. So he can strike people out. It's just sometimes he loses his command, especially if his fastball, when his fastball is like probably his best pitch. So then he has to go to a slider and a changeup, and it's not the best, and it doesn't play as well if he can't command that fastball.
And that's kind of like just a thing of like you saying every year, oh, this is gonna be the year. This is gonna be the year. And how many years has he been with them?
I don't even know.
4 or 5 years.
I think 3 or 4. I want to say.
Okay, 3 or 4. That's a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
And he's still having control issues.
Right.
That's almost like a thing of like, I don't want to say like, cut ties, but like once that his rookie contract's over, it's probably just like
you resign him. Because I mean, look, his other
obviously
issue.
That's a long time away.
Right.
But I'm just saying.
He does have some health concerns. He can never really stay healthy.
That even.
Yeah, but when he pitches, he's a excellent reliever. He's like a low 3, high 2 at best. I mean, right now he has a 2.84. So he's a great reliever. It's just one of those things where like you expect him to take the next step and he just never can. So it's just unfortunate. But so far he's been great. On the other side of that, Brooks Raley, 5 innings and a third, 6.75 ERA. It's a little inflated, I will say. In the 5 innings, he had that really bad inning in Milwaukee, which again, nothing went white. Yep. Nothing went white in Milwaukee. Nothing went right. Oh my, say that like.
Make that a shirt. Nothing went white in Milwaukee.
Nothing went right. That's really hard to say fast.
Nothing went right in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Nothing went right in Milwaukee. Nothing went right in Milwaukee.
Anyways, nothing went right in Milwaukee, and thank you. I think he gave up like 4 runs in an inning, not even. So I will say it's a little inflated. My one thing is he's a lefty. He's supposed to be the lefty because God forbid the Mets sign another lefty.
How's Andrew Chafin doing?
Pretty good. I'm looking Pretty good. Andrew Chafin was don't get me started on Chafin.
I wanted him
but left-handed hitters are hitting 417 off of him with a 1.250 OPS. He's the lefty. He's supposed to be getting the lefties out, and he's not.
Do you want to hear the numbers?
Chafin?
In 6 innings pitched, he has 8 strikeouts, 2 saves, and it has an ERA.
He has an ERA?
He does not have an ERA.
He does not.
He does not have
He has not let up a run.
He has not let up a run.
Crazy.
A .667 whip.
And he was on the market for how long?
What, like a 2-year, $6 million deal?
With the Diamondbacks?
Like
I don't. Regardless.
He's 24.
No way. He's like 35.
Oh wait, no, that was debut. I was gonna say.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say no, because I'm just like looking at it. I see age 24. Where is he? 32.
32, but still.
I was about to say that man
I
is
know.
like. Okay.
But regardless.
Ignore me.
Raley has not been the lefty that we
Can I cut you off
thought.
for a second?
Go ahead.
He started with Arizona.
Did he really?
Yeah, he started with Arizona, then went to Chicago, then went to Oakland, then Detroit, then okay.
Right. All right.
Off topic.
Anyways, Brooks Raley's not getting lefties out, and he's supposed to be getting lefties out. That's like the entire reason why they traded for him.
You have another righty in the bullpen.
Right, and look up Robertson's splits versus lefties, because I'm pretty sure Robertson is a better lefty than Brooks Raley.
That makes sense.
Because I think Robertson's always had good splits.
He has a lot of he's always had pitches that play better inside.
Right.
Like going to the outside.
So it's one of those things where like you just gotta figure it out because like you're the lefty. You know, in a division where Bryce Harper's gonna be back eventually. You got Matt Olson.
Schwarber.
You got Luis Arias, who's annoying now.
I don't think that matters, though.
Still, another lefty. Who else am I missing? But you get what I mean, like the big left-handed boppers.
Do you want his career, or do you want...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right. Versus lefties, they're hitting 187 versus righties 219.
Lefties are hitting 187 off of Robertson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why Robertson's such a good closer, because he can get both out, especially lefties. But
his numbers are like wild because he has 10 less innings pitched against lefties. He has 463 strikeouts versus righties, 523 versus lefties. So that's 60 more and 10 less innings pitched.
Right. So it's one of those things where, like,
and he's also given up 20 less home runs versus lefties.
It does make sense.
Yeah, 43 home runs to 22. He's given up 50 less earned runs to lefties.
Jeez.
141 to 96.
Wow.
So,
I mean,
that's
look,
wild.
I mean, that's
staggering.
good on Robertson. I mean, like, fantastic, but
do you almost use him as a lefty? Like,
honestly, yes and no. I mean, yes and no, yeah. Like, you're not going to use him in the 7th inning, but, like, you're not going to be afraid if, you got Harper coming up, like, 2-3 in the order, you know what I mean?
I feel like that almost helps in your division because there's going to be a lot of, like, lefties high in orders. Like,
definitely.
What, do you think Schwarber's going to stay? Oh, no, they have Trey Turner now. Where's Schwarber going to be hitting?
He's hitting, like, still second, third, I'm pretty sure.
You think Harper, cleanup?
3,
Or 4.
probably.
So,
yeah.
If you do it right, you could have him face both.
Right.
So.
And, look, again, good on Robertson, but it's one of those things where really just needs to figure it out. Because, look, you're a lefty. Your whole entire reason you got traded for.
You never trade with the Rays.
I know. God forbid. But you got to figure it out. And again, small sample size, 5 innings. Talk to us in a month.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be different. But after that, yeah, seriously. But after that, I kind of got everyone else. Because the back end of the bullpen's kind of been, like, in flux. Unfortunately, our best friend, Dennis Santana, got DFA'd, like we talked about earlier. But Tommy Hunter blew up in Milwaukee. Whatever.
No.
Tommy Hunter is solid. He can't stay healthy. He's
what
older.
Happened in Milwaukee?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing went away in Milwaukee?
Nothing happened in Milwaukee. Steven Nagosic, who went on the IL like we talked about, he was really good. He was the not cleanup, but like 2-3 inning guy. And
the mop.
Yeah. Well,
that's his nickname.
The mop.
The mop.
I mean, he has a nice stash too. It's fantastic. But he's been really good. And then Denny Reyes, who's been up for like a week, has been solid in like the 2 appearances he's had. So the kind of back end is always in a flux. So it's kind of hard. Bullpen. Right. But the top guys, I mean, Robertson, Ottavino, and Curtis, I feel like are your 7, 8, 9. But it seems like they want to use Curtis more in like a multi-inning role. But with Drew Smith and Brooks Raley both have the upside. So even without Diaz, I'm very trusting in this bullpen, for better or for worse. But Robertson closing out games, I can't exactly get mad at.
Yeah, you definitely.
Again, not what we signed him for exactly, but he's done an excellent job.
He's 38, but he's still pitching like
elite.
He's young.
Yeah, I mean, look at the year he had last year. It was like 2.8 ERA, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But look, I mean, bullpens are volatile.
Experience everywhere, pitching in the postseason, pitching
yes,
everywhere.
Yeah, so I think obviously one of the better signings now, but I like the bullpen.
He had a 2.7 last year, by the way.
Right.
And where's innings pitched? If I could see, only 23 innings. But he had a 2.4. I was only looking at the Phillies.
Split.
Yeah.
Okay.
2.4 ERA and 63.
63 innings, and I'll take that any day of the week.
Oh yeah.
But no, I like the bullpen. I think there's definitely pieces that can improve it. Hopefully, unfortunately we lost Bryce Montes to Oka to Tommy John, but you still got a couple guys who can come in and fill in the back spots or even break out and have a really good year.
Mhm.
So I like how the bullpen is now, but I wouldn't mind to see an improvement or two.
Mm.
But as of right now, can't complain.
David Robertson has a career 2.86 ERA.
He's very good.
And how many years? 15 years.
He's very good.
That I don't know. Off topic, but
Yeah, but David Robertson's a very good pitcher. I'm glad he's on my team.
yeah, I was very glad he was on the Yankees.
But,
Just wait for Houdini heart attack season.
I know. I'll wait for it. But so far, he's been clean.
Yeah.
But that's all I got from the Mets bullpen.
Yeah, I don't really got any comments other than love David Robertson. Ottavino, he's a 2, but he's a very scary 2 in the sense of you trust him to be there, but you know it's lurking.
Right.
It's lurking in the shadows, just ready.
He's going to have a blow up here or there. But
Yeah. And you will get very,
very upset.
very mad. You will think he is horrible.
Yeah.
And then he'll go like 10 scoreless appearance where he's like,
Right.
damn, this guy's good.
Untouchable. Yeah. But no, I think very good. I think both New York teams have a very good bullpen, or at least have the possibility to be very, very good.
Mhm.
So
And that's also with both them having some very significant injuries, more to
definitely
the Mets
right.
with Diaz.
Yeah, I
but
mean, obviously you put Diaz in there, and I feel like that's
that's
arguably the best, and maybe definitely top 5. But unfortunately,
Ottavino was a 3.
right? That's what I mean. You got it. If everything went well, you had Diaz in the 9th, Robertson in the 8th, Ottavino in the 7th.
Yeah.
I'd take that any day of the week. But unfortunately, we don't. But still, Robertson is doing more than enough. But
Yeah.
that's all I got. That's all
I
you got.
Yeah.
But I guess then thank you guys for watching and listening.
Yeah.
It was nice to have a Manhattan episode
Yes.
again. But again, we're doing these once a week.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys next week for our next Manhattan. But thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe, follow us on Spotify, follow us on Twitter,
Yep.
Instagram, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts. But that being said,
That's really it.
That's
We'll
really
see
it.
you guys next week.
we'll see you guys then.
See you guys.